Hey everybody, I hope you are doing well. Wanted to get on here really quick, gonna keep this short and talk to you all a little bit about initiation. I am going to do a pick a card reading for the new moon that is occurring tomorrow. I'm taping this on June 5th. Tomorrow, June 6th, we have an incredible new moon in Gemini. It's marking the halfway point through the year, through 2024, and a lot of us are undergoing a tremendous amount of change. We've been undergoing change now, you all, like market change for the last several years, certainly since the pandemic and even before then, but it's lingering. And when I talk about initiation, some of you, I'm always respectful, and I try to be careful of different people's beliefs and comfort levels. At the same time, I am who I am, and I will never, walk away from that or make excuses for that. So I want to appeal to many of you who come to spirituality from so many different vantage points, right? Some of you in more formalized religions, in the church, the traditional church, Catholicism, Christianity, etc. Some of you from Islam, some of you from more pagan traditions, some of you from preferring not to deal with, even atheism and not dealing with a God self or a God sense at all. But what I firmly believe, and in my practice and in my training, is that none of us leaves this earth without having undergone some form of initiation. And by that I mean, it doesn't, in ancient societies, these were stages of life: puberty, marriage, etc. These were stages of life where the elders understood what to be prepared for, and you were trained. People were trained in the steps that would be taken. They were even led through certain ceremonies, certain purification rituals, things that ushered and opened the portal and ushered them into that new way of life. For many of us in this day and age, in this time in history, we don't have that, for various reasons. We've lost a lot of our connections to that wisdom of the elders. I won't say lost. Spirit is correcting me on that. It's always in us. It's in our DNA. But the formalized ways that, the way it takes a village, right? The formalized ways that many of these things could have been explained to us in prior generations, that we could have been prepared for the changes, that we could have understood more what to expect when life throws us curves, and to be trained, really have it ingrained in us, to have a very strong foundation in our spiritual connection, so that when the outer world around us, when circumstances change, jobs, people, relationships, births, deaths, etc., that we had a mechanism in place to be able to cope with that, to be able to understand how to make the proper adjustments, and to also, instead of getting into sort of a victim mode or an anxiety ridden, how many people now are on medications and experiencing physical symptoms due to anxiety and depression and uncertainty. We were prepared for those things. And so Spirit led me to just remind you all that, yes, the ways that initiation may be done now have shifted. Perhaps you don't live in an area where you have readily available to you elders and people who have wisdom that you really trust. Maybe your friendship groups have been a little fractured or shattered, and you're looking at, okay, who really gets me. And that especially happens when you're on a spiritual journey, because there will be people who go along with you, and there will be people who go away. You're shifting, you're not the same, and people get uncomfortable with change. People get uncomfortable when here you are growing and becoming more or different and morphing, and really on a journey, and they want to stay in that comfort zone. To each his own. But what Spirit is giving me the message to give you today is, don't don't think that there is anything wrong with you because of the changes that you are undergoing. And secondly, if you do not have the mechanisms in place to give you the understanding, to foster, and usher you into these different phases of life that you may be undergoing, don't see that as a hindrance, okay? Just look for the signs, look for it, read your books, do your prayers, take your baths, talk to yourself, talk through it, talk to your ancestors, talk to what it is that you believe in that is greater than you, that is looking out for you, that is benevolent. Protection is huge right now. There are people, that saying, hurt people hurt people. And there are a lot of hurt people out here, you all, especially in spiritual communities. What draws or drives a lot of people to spirituality is because trying to heal from something, trying to make sense of something, trying to get over trauma, trying to, et cetera, et cetera. Life, right? Life is lifing. But you ultimately are the one who has to make the choice in how you proceed and get through these different stages of life. And if you stay in that continuum of the loop of victimhood, of anxiety, of depression, of fear, if you, for many people, even in spiritual communities, we tend to hop along, a reading from this one, a reading from that one, a reading from that, and always in search. There is nothing wrong with availing yourself of all of the avenues that Spirit places in your path, by all means. But at the end of the day, remember that you are the person who is in charge of your soul and your life path in your human form, in your human body. You are the person who has that last say so. And so I'm suggesting that if you treat some of these challenges as an initiation, meaning a natural course of life that you are undergoing, and then prepare yourself for those things that bring you the real guidance, that bring you the real confirmation, the people, the energies, the places, those things. Don't be afraid. Trust yourself. We say that all the time, but it requires doing more than knowing. It requires going through those challenges and getting on the other side of them. And then as you do so, you mark that off. You keep that in your psyche and say, I know what this is. I recognize it. I may not have all the answers, but this is a period of initiation. I am being led from one state of life to another. And if that is the case, if that is my soul's purpose and the divine plan for me, then I must be capable. You are capable.